Hey everybody, Lewis here, Rshackbbq and other things. So what we're doing today is a brisket. This brisket is a choice brisket, and I'm going to be using the big reverse flow offset cooker to do it in. And we're going to be using butcher paper once it hits that stall. Now, I'm going to add something to it, and we'll see what it comes out like, and then maybe I'll share what it is. Maybe I won't. But we're going to just see if we can make a choice brisket taste like a prime brisket. I think we can. So stick around. Let's get into this cook. So what we have here is a choice brisket. This is a 14-pound brisket. We'll go ahead and get it all open up out of the packet here. It's not too badly shaped as a brisket goes. I've seen worse. It's a little thin in this corner, but not too bad. Let's give us some of that. All right, just something like that. You know, a lot of people will like to take and cut a corner off so they know which way the grain is running, something like this. So I'm just going to take this one corner off. It's really thin over here. All right, so now we know which way the grain is running. So for a base coat, I just have a combination of some. So it's got a little bit of Cosmo Q's Texas beef in it. It's got some Uncle Steve's thick meat in it. And it has some Code 3 spices beef edition. Has all that in this. So we are kind of throwing a bunch of different flavor profiles at it, I guess is the easiest way to say. Let's get it on here and get a nice coat going. Notice I didn't put any binder down. I don't think you need to on brisket. Just kind of give that a quick little pat down. All right. Then we're coming in with some Black Magic on it. And what this does is just give it that beautiful black, deep, rich bark. Just get the nice coat of this on here. This has, actually, I believe this has charcoal that gives it that nice coat. So we'll get this on here. Something like that. Give it a second to kind of get into the meat. Try to flip it over and not lose too much of it. Come back and hit this side. I like to run my briskets with the fat cap up, because I do believe that it does render down and into the meat and produces that beautiful moist brisket that you see, because most of that is just fat juices, in my opinion. So we'll get our Black Magic on here. So we'll get some on the edges here. All right. So we got the pit coming up to temp right now. And we will get this on there very shortly. There it is, all seasoned up, ready to go. Doesn't that thing look beautiful? Okay, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We've just now got the brisket on the reverse flow offset smoker there. Got my probes in it using the ThermalWorks smoke. So we'll monitor the pit temp and the meat temp for a while, and we'll just let her ride. That's the thing about briskets, pork butts, is every one of them is a little bit different, and the time factor that it takes is just up to the cut of meat. You can figure we're probably going to be looking at about 14-hour cook here, so it's going to be a long one. So we'll just let her ride. Going to let it get up to about 160. Then we're going to wrap it up in butcher paper and let her finish off that way. Up to, I like to go to 195, then I like to pull them and put them in a cooler and let them rest for a little bit, but we'll get more into that. So yeah, at this point, it's just fire management. Keep the fire going, keep it up to temp, and just let her ride. Okay, we're at the 5-hour mark here. We're running at 235, 240, and it says that our brisket is at 125. Let's take a look at it, see if we need to spritz it. It's coming along beautifully. See how much it shrunk up there. Let's get some moisture here. Bark is starting to set, getting a little separation of the fat rendering down. Looking beautiful. Got a water pan over here. Don't need to put any more water in it yet, but all right, let's let her roll. Right, let's have a look here. I don't know if you can see that. We're running at 230 and we've hit 163 internal. It's time to pull it, and we're going to wrap it up in butcher paper. Oh my, will you take a look at that? Let's zoom in there. A thing of beauty right there. Just probe out. Doesn't that look good? We want to do, we got 2 sheets of butcher paper here. We're going to just take some of this secret sauce, put it down under there, like so. Now we're going to take our beautiful brisket, one-handed. We're going to just set it right there. Doesn't that look good? Come back in, put some of this on top. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's looking so good. What we want to do is we just want to wrap this up. So, get it all wrapped up here. Something like that. We'll get it back out on the smoker, get the probe in it, and we'll let her ride until she hits 195 internal. Okay, at this point we have reached our 199. We're going to double check it with a quick read and see what this actually is temping at. If it is 199, we're going to pull it and put it in, I was going to say a cooler, but I'm going to put it in another smoker that's not on, and just let it sit in there for a couple hours. Okay, got our ink bird here. Let's just pierce through the paper. So it's reading over 200 there. It's like 202. Let's see where we are down here in the flat. We're like 204 there. All right, so she's done. Take this out. All we want to do is just put her in a pan. Close this up. It almost used all that water up. So we've got it put in the Pit Boss vertical. Right now I'm going to be changing out the controller on this again, going to a Rshackbbq controller on it. Hopefully next week I'll start working on that. But anyhow, I'm just going to use it as my storage for this brisket. We're going to just leave it in here for 2 hours. Just let it sit. I didn't vent it. I didn't do anything. I just brought it in, stuck it in there. It's probably about, I'd say, 65 degrees in here in the shop today. So ideal temperature just to let it sit in there and just finish cooking. So we'll come back in 2 hours, take a look at it. Okay, our brisket's been resting in the Pit Boss warming oven for roughly 2 hours. What do you say we take it out and see how we did? It smells, oh man. Yeah, closed up so it's not in the camera. All right, let's get this thing unwrapped. All right, went ahead and gloved up in case this thing is still warm. Let's get our, look at that moisture on there. Get that out of the way. Oh, dudes. The juice in this thing is crazy. Oh. Let's just pick it up here. Let's oh yeah. So there's our cut. Let's just have a quick little look at this. Unbelievable. Oh yeah. You know what? Let's come up in here. Let's just have a look at this. Can you see the juices on there? Got a nice smoke ring around it. Beautiful. Let's just get us a slice there. How's that for layover? Look at that. It's just, I mean, my gloves are just soaked with juice. Beautiful looking brisket. Get this cut up. Get a picture for the gram. I'm telling you, this is a great moist brisket. Let's see if we can get one more good cut there. So I'll just lay some out here so you can see it. Doesn't that look good? Let's taste this delicious looking brisket. Beautiful smoke ring on it. Oh, those seasonings. Definitely can taste the salt in it. Oh, that is so good. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Wow. Anyhow, I'm not going to sit here and eat all this in front of you. You got to trust me. This was delicious. So, you saw how I did that. I got up at 5 a.m., started the smoker. It was 30 degrees out. I lit the smoker. I built a nice fire in there using charcoal. I used lump charcoal this time, hoping it would help heat up quicker, and it seemed to do that. So I did lump charcoal, got a nice coal bed going, and then I put some cherry wood on it and got it up to, the pit was about 200 when I put the brisket on that. You saw how I seasoned it. I did not put any binder on it at all. I just put the seasoning and patted it down, came back with that black magic, and you know, that's where that beautiful crust comes from. If you can get some of that, get some of it. There's other ones out there that do the exact same thing. Just look for charcoal based seasoning is what it is, really. So after I seasoned it, the pit was up to 200. I went ahead and put it on. I put a probe in it from the ThermalWorks smoke so that I could monitor the temp. I just let it ride till it reached over 160 internal. And then I took it off. I wrapped it with that butcher paper. I put that little secret liquid in there. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you want to ask, just ask me. And I will tell you that I had to heat it up to make it liquid. So that might give you some ideas what it was. But I put that on the paper, and I actually put it on the brisket too, and it's got so much flavor, it's crazy. Then I let it go. I had my original thought that I'd let it go to 195, but I set my ThermalWorks to 198. Alarm went off. Then I just took a quick read to verify, an Inkbird quick read, and yes, it was over 200. So I knew that it was done. I just put it in that foil pan and stuck it inside the Pit Boss vertical. The Pit Boss vertical wasn't on, it was just used for storage. So I had a place to put it, and that's all I did. I just set it in there for 2 hours and let it ride. Now, I don't think anybody could have tell the difference between choice or prime on this. The flavor is there, the moisture is there, everything is there. And this came out perfect. So anyhow, like I always say, you could do this too. It's not that difficult. It is time consuming, you know. Every half hour I had to come out and put another log on the old fire to keep it up in the temp that I wanted to run it between 230 to 260. And it was right in there for the most part. Maybe dipped down to 220 something every now and then, but I came out and took care of that. And then, you know, but I do appreciate you watching. Till next time, my friends. Grill on.